Hey, it's Ellie. Welcome back to another video, or hello if you are new. Today I am back in Northshore Zoo with quite a long episode. So hopefully I can get through this narration. Part of the reason I stopped doing such long episodes is because I did not exactly care for narrating these like 20 plus minute episodes. But yeah, so today I am working on the ski resort, which is kind of a weird little offshoot of my coastal zoo. So for the most part, I was working on sort of like autumn vibes, I guess, was my goal. I wanted to have a lot of pumpkins, a lot of leaves, leaf litter, because that just feels very New England. Plus the maple trees are orange, and I did some of the aspen trees, which are yellow, which again feels very New England because of all the deciduous trees that we have in that part of the world. So in addition to that, there's also a lot of area in New England that is like very snowy, and some of that area even is snowy like almost all the time because it's like up higher on a mountain. So I feel like by fall some of these New England areas have a pretty nice snowfall, and of course then you also have all of the like snow making apparatuses that a lot of these ski resorts have just to get the the extra dense snow cover on all of their slopes. So yeah, there's this ski resort in my New England zoo, and it's snowy here, and I made it the moose habitat, and it ended up really working out because I put some trails that go like kind of around through the forest in front of this ski resort, so the guests can actually like walk sort of along the edge of the moose habitat, and they have a pretty good view of the moose. The moose stays kind of right down in that area. And sorry if you can hear my cat. They're being very annoying today, and so I had to shut my office door, but they don't like that. You'll notice in this video that I cut a lot out, and that's because in total I have something like 20 hours of footage for this build, and that's not including all of the time that I spent to do the landscaping around the area, which for the most part I also cut out because it was just very repetitive trees and whatnot. But I condensed it as much as I felt like I could, and it ended up being about a 25-minute episode. So that's where we landed with this. For the most part, I like how this turned out, but I definitely need to go back and add another pass of like details and stuff, because looking at it kind of afterward, I can definitely tell that I got just burnt out with the building because it had a lot of weird shapes to it, and I was trying to make it like a unique little ski lodge log cabin, the standard Vermont looking ski lodge with the rustic stone and all this. And yeah, it definitely needs more details, because I put some windows and doors, but I didn't really put any other wall decor for the most part, I don't think, especially on the outside is mostly where I need the extra detail. I've been really trying to make my buildings feel realistic, and I did a train station recently that I absolutely love. I think it turned out, it's like probably one of the best things that I've ever built in terms of like realism. I've actually been having a lot of fun building these buildings in the Northshore Zoo because it's so different than Summit Sanctuary, and I get to use a lot of these cool pieces that I really did not have the opportunity to use in Summit Sanctuary because of the style. So like Summit Sanctuary was a luxury resort, and because of that I wouldn't put like any of the grunge decals or like the surface wear effects on the walls and things, and like some of the rusty or like wooden and pieces that just seem like a little worn down compared to something that you would see in a luxury resort for sure. I just obviously didn't use any of those in my Summit Sanctuary Zoo, but this zoo is New England. It's old. It's like the buildings were at least 200 years old for a lot of these, and so it felt really nice to be able to like add in all these details, because it does make a huge difference when you're looking at the facade of a building and seeing just how realistic it looks and everything. I always felt like in Summit Sanctuary that my walls were bare and I didn't have a lot of, I would add beams and things, and that's about it, because that's all that I felt like fit the theme. But as I said, in this Northshore Zoo, I've been able to add a lot of the like grungy details. Like I've been having a lot of fun combining some of the grungy details and the rust and the worn wood effects and all these things to make it feel, you know, old and realistic. So I've been mixing the brick and the copper and a lot of those what is it, the classic pieces, yeah, from the base game, I believe, and some of the European pieces as well, but honestly not as much. They don't quite fit the vibe in the same way. And there goes my cat again. But yeah, I'm not really sure how I'm going to incorporate some of those pieces into this ski resort, but I'm sure I will figure out a way. At the very least, it needs more beams and just some, I don't know, maybe some lights or something. It just needs something, for sure, because it just looks very bare the way it is right now. But yeah, so for this ski resort, I decided not to do interiors. In fact, for the most part, the zoo is not going to have interiors, because I feel like that was the thing that burned me out the most in doing Summit Sanctuary, so I just decided to skip all that in my New England Zoo, especially because the focus is so much on the natural environment. It doesn't have any barriers. In fact, I actually ended up changing my barrier setup for, what is it, the gray seals, because I think I mentioned in a previous episode I ended up putting a barrier because of the weird like rerouting that the animals were having to do when they got out of the territory because of my settings, and long story short, they were doing some annoying things. But I just really hated it. It didn't look good. It was just really annoying to me that you could see the fence. So I ended up going through and using the elephant grass trick. It didn't work as well as I was hoping, because I was hoping I could sink it in the ground a little bit more than I was able to. But that being said, the fence, the gate, the habitat barrier had to stick out above the water to prevent the gray seals from leaving the area, and the elephant grass does not have to do that. It's below the water. You can see it if you're zoomed out, but when you like are in the areas where the guests would be viewing from, you actually can't really see it underwater, just a little bit. And I feel like that was much better. A compromise, if you will, to so I think I'm gonna go through and put elephant grass where necessary through some of my other habitats. Like I've already been doing it for the raccoons that I put in the campsite, and I think that's it. But I do need to do it for the foxes as well, just on one side. I think will prevent them from doing anything. Though the foxes do not seem to have the same issue. They seem to route pretty consistently, like around. So yeah, I would have built this already, so you should understand when I say the lake, the little pond that I have. The habitat for the red foxes starts just like after the pond, but for whatever reason the foxes keep routing around the pond to like go in front of it instead of behind it where the habitat starts. But for whatever reason they don't like get boxed up and teleported to the gate. They just continue their routing back into the habitat. So I think it's just some kind of like, again, some kind of AI traversable route that the fox has decided, that like AI has made the fox take, that it seems pretty consistent that they keep doing that. But as I said, not causing an issue as far as I can tell. So I feel like it could potentially when the guests are in the zoo, though. Because I don't know, I didn't watch it when I opened it. But I did open my zoo the other day. I had quite a few habitats, so I figured I should open my zoo and make sure that everything's running the way it needs to, so I don't end up with a issue like I had with Summit Sanctuary, where I was like a quarter of the way through the zoo and I realized the spawn and entrance weren't working, so no guests could actually get in my zoo. Yeah, that was a bummer. But luckily nothing like that happened this time, and I didn't encounter any weird issues with my guests traversing the zoo, so happy to say everything is looking good. The only potential thing is that the Braywood Farms, the walkthrough habitat, is just a little crowded, so I might have to, I don't know. I think I'll just adjust the setting a little bit, but hopefully that fixes it. But it wasn't too bad, all things considered. So it seems like everything else is working as intended, and it all looks good as well. The guests were moving. I put the spawn point on the dock, so the guests are pretty central to everything, so it didn't seem like they were gonna have too much trouble walking around the zoo, unlike Summit Sanctuary where the guest entrance was like firmly in one corner of the zoo, and so when you go like through the sort of opposite side of the entrance, there's hardly any guests over there because the AI doesn't like to walk them that far, which is kind of annoying, but we make do. So the other thing I wanted to mention, I should mention, and I'll mention it again and maybe even make a post about it depending, but I have decided to start streaming again. Hopefully I stick with it this time. I think I will, because I do know why I never stuck with it before, which is the fact that I didn't really watch Twitch, and so I wasn't really familiar with the culture of Twitch. I didn't, I didn't really have any sense of community on Twitch, so it didn't, not to say that I didn't have people joining my streams, because I always did. I never had 0 viewers. I was lucky that way, but I don't know, I just never vibed with it when I had streamed initially, which was like 5 or 6 years ago. But one of my best friends has been streaming for like 2 years now, and she's got a nice little community that I really like, and it's made me consider maybe streaming again. So I have been working on setting up my channel and things. I've got a lot of cute little alerts and screens and all these things that I am hoping will make my stream look nice as I get into it again. But yeah, I'm gonna keep it very low-key. I'm gonna be playing Planet Zoo and the Long Dark. I think I'm gonna do the Archivist Challenge on stream. It seems like a good stream challenge because it's I think it's timed, if I remember correctly, which made me stress out, but it can be like mostly continuous in that way, and then I can keep my sandbox game for YouTube only and make sure that the videos are nice. I don't want to take my Twitch VODs and then just make YouTube videos from them, because it's just not the same. I don't play the same. Wouldn't have the same dynamic, and I don't want that. So yeah, I'm gonna do something different on stream besides my sandbox game, but I will be playing the Long Dark and then, you know, maybe some Planet Coaster 2. And I did get this game a while ago called Cattails, which one of the reviews said it was like Stardew Valley but cats, and I figured I would really enjoy that. So I think I might also play that at some point on stream. And I'm just gonna stream twice a week. I'm gonna, again, keep it chill, keep it low key. A few hours in the mornings, probably West Coast mornings now. And that'll be that. So once I firm out my schedule and everything, I will definitely let you guys know at some point. And if you would like to keep up to date, definitely join my Discord, which is linked in various places, and because that's most likely where I will post the main announcements, and definitely have some going live notifications and whatnot in case you don't follow me. But my Twitch handle is Gingerelli Games, I think. Is that? I better check. I think it's Gingerelli Games. I'm such a good streamer. Yes, Gingerelli Games. Just slightly different from my email and other things. Gingerelli was taken, unfortunately. Not that unique of a name. Nobody has it on YouTube though, except me. Yeah, I'm looking forward to streaming. I feel like if I keep it low key, and now that I'm more familiar with the culture of Twitch, the vibe of it, what, you know, I feel more comfortable, I guess, being in the in the environment of streaming, because I spend so much time in my friends' stream. Half the time I'm just lurking, but yeah. It's just like all these things that I guess I did not realize that I should invest my time in for streaming, like making the nice overlays and all these things. I did have a couple nice screens that I think I will reuse, but for the most part, I'm gonna way up my production value. And I even got some emotes. Well, they're not mine. They're from the Planet Zoo Frontiers streaming kit for content creators, but there's some really cute emotes and alerts in there that I ended up modifying a little bit to suit my wants and needs, and I really like the way they turn out. They have this little alligator emote, and I made it my raid notification, and so the emote is called Raider Gator, and I think that's funny. So, yeah, streaming starting the new year is my plan. Probably that first week of January, when all the holidays and stuff are die down a little bit. I didn't even have a chance to record my narration for the previous episode because my week has been so crazy, and other things that I've been dealing with that have been taking up a lot of my brain space, so recording the narration was not my priority, though I am sad that I didn't get to do it, because I want to put effort into my YouTube videos as well, obviously. I'm not trying to just like throw out any video. It probably seems like that sometimes, but it actually takes me a long time to edit my footage, because the like 10 to 20 hours of footage that I have for this that's like, when I speed it up, it's still an hour of footage that I have to then go through and cut, and then watch, and then watch again as I narrate, and then watch again as I have the narration and the music to make sure that everything is correct. So it does take quite a bit of time to make these videos, but I like them the best. I just really enjoy the speed build format, and I feel like it's the nicest way for me to be able to share my builds with people. Though I am definitely thinking about adjusting my video format a little bit. I think I might not do it for Northshore Zoo. I might save it for my next project, or some of my smaller one-off projects for sure. But I think I'm gonna maybe adjust my format so that I have some cinematics at the beginning, because I think that'll be a little bit nicer, a little bit more of a hook for people to get in with the music, and then I'll jump in with my narration and, you know, the lo-fi in the background and whatnot. I'm looking forward to it. I've had a little bit of a creative spike recently, and I'm almost done with Northshore Zoo, which seems crazy because it doesn't seem like I'm almost done to you guys, but I've only got the dock and the town left. It seems like not a lot. And I actually don't have any more animals to put in my zoo. That might have been a mishap on my part. I maybe needed to spread them out more, but I don't think so because I just have the dock and the town, and there's not going to be animals in the town, so I guess that actually makes sense. I did, let's see, I did end up putting deer in. I don't know if I mentioned that yet, but I was building this marsh area, and it just really, I had intended to put beavers there, but the beavers are so small. I don't think anybody would ever be able to see them, and you probably never know that there's actually animals in there. So instead, I put, did I put the red-tailed deer? I think so. I think I put them because they seem like the closest approximation to whatever deer species would be in New England, North America area, which is a lot. We have a lot of deer in this area. I could have put reindeer potentially, but I decided against that. I wanted to keep it more realistic, and not that reindeer are unrealistic. Are there wild reindeer? I don't actually think there's wild reindeer. Well, anyway. Yeah, so for now though, I'm not gonna put any cinematics in these episodes. I decided I'm just gonna keep it to the end because it's a short series. Like I said, I'm almost done. And I don't know. Maybe I think 20 episodes is gonna be just about right. Maybe 17. But it shouldn't be too long here until this video is done, and then I'm gonna move on to other projects. Might take a break from big zoos for a little while. Might work on small projects. Because especially when I get towards the end of the zoos, I just feel like very, what is the word? Very antsy, I guess. I feel very unsettled because I'm so close to being done with it that I just want to complete the project, you know? Anyway, that's the end of the video, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more content from me. I post videos every Tuesday and Saturday. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, bye!